Hey, you guys. Do you remember that show? Who remembers that show? 5 points extra credit if you know that show. Happy Friday, you guys. So sorry about my time management skills. It is definitely not my best feature. I'm working on it. Okay? It's a good thing I'm going to get to edit these and upload them later, which I've already done. And let me show you guys what we've got going on here. I've got a pack of dogs on the floor, so they're going to be making noise once in a while. Don't mind them. They drink super loudly, too. They're like, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to get into this study. We're going to finish up the week with 2 questions in the binder. Let me show you where it is on the website. You can follow along if you haven't done it already. Share screen. It's on the standuphumble.news page. You go to the .news page, and if you go to .com first, you can easily just click Stand Up Humboldt News from there. And actually right now, I am streaming live on this website. So I'm going to drop this link for you, and I will be streaming live on this website Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12:30 Pacific. So, I got a bunch of channels going on here. I'm actually going to take channel 2 off. And, oh, I see you guys are on Stand Up too. Hi, Eric. Good to see you. Thank you for my pretty banner. And that's where you are, is on Stand Up too. I am going to drop the link for Hilltop Workshops, and that's where we're going to be, because I just don't even want to deal. 2 is to grab you up, scoop you up, and bring you somewhere else, because it's just too much in jeopardy. I don't have any videos on there. You have to go to all the other platforms. But if you go to the About section here, let me see, make sure I'm sharing. Yep. If you go to the About section in the 2, you can find all the other links too. But you know where it's easier is if you go to the BitChute, which is where I want to show you where these videos are uploaded. I will be uploading them to the website, but for now, for you to find them, because they are going to get lost, because the way BitChute works is there's no order to it. It's a shoot for bits. That's the way I see it, right? And so the bits are the Making of America 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all huddled together in here. But then I added an old video, and I'm going to be adding some more footage all the time. So the best thing is going to be to go to the website here. And when you're on this homepage, you can find me live on these days I mentioned, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12:30 Pacific. But if you go to the Constitution Study, you can get a link to buy your own kit right here from the National Center for Constitutional Studies, and they're an awesome group. And so I recommend you do that. Okay. And then, hi, All First Kingdom. Good to see you, honey. And then if you can't do that, well, then here's the binder. We're going to just finish up this week with 2 questions, but they're really epic questions. And that word is so overused, but this really is like the heart of what makes America great. Why we were great once upon a time. Are we still great? I think so. So when you look here, we're on question 4 and 5. No, I'm sorry. We're on 5 and 6. Did I put that wrong in the stream? I hope I put it right. And let's see, get me to Hilltop Workshops link. I'm turning off too. I mean, I could probably leave it on and just turn it off. I'm just so terrified they're going to shut me down in the middle of it and take away my channel. And I would cry then. And I don't want you to see me cry. Okay. I don't want you to see me cry today. Maybe another day. You can go find some old footage of seeing me cry if you want. Most people don't want to see that. So I'm going to drop the link for this stream on Hilltop Workshops. I'm taking it off of channel 2 and I am deleting it off of channel 2. I just have to do it that way. So sorry for the inconvenience. I'm doing what I can by having it on the website, you know, and having it on every other. No crying. Okay, Tim. You got it. No crying. I know. Oh, I'm not even a mod on my own channel. So. Can anybody drop that Hilltop Workshops? I got to make myself a mod. Hi, my name is Deanna, and I'm streaming out of Humboldt County about Humboldt County, through Humboldt County and anyone else who cares. And I have technical issues sometimes, okay? And I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm willing to be here for you. And we're going to trudge through. So if you don't mind a stream like that, welcome in. We are still great? Okay. If you say so. If you say so. If anyone can beat me that has a wrench with Hilltop Workshops, I have to make myself a mod so that I can drop that before I turn off too. Because, yeah, I'm not leaving it on. I'm not playing games here, people. And so you can find that. Let me give you the website so you can look up the questions here. Number 5 and 6. We're looking up show statistically how the Constitution elevated the United States to the wealthiest nation on earth. I forgot there was a clip I wanted to play, which is also why I'm definitely taking this off of 2. Right away. Right away. I'm almost there. Oh, what do I have to do? I almost forgot. So I have to sign in under the right one. That's all I have to do. Okay. I was brain farted for a second. I'm sorry. Okay, no problem. I'm going to get it. Don't cry. Okay, for a change. Come on. Don't I make you laugh more than cry? I hope so. I know for a change. We're all crying up by ourselves, right? I don't make you cry. It's the world. No crying today, kids. Promise. This is a great study today. Number 5. Show statistically how the Constitution elevated the United States to the wealthiest nation on earth. Number 6, name 7 revolutions that have occurred in human history and tell which one was the key to the others. Those are all we're covering today because those are enough. And if you want to find the answer real quick, it's right below that. Am I sharing anymore? Nope. It's right below that, you see. So the questions are 5 and 6. The answers are right here. You can do a quick read. I'm going to get myself a wrench so I can drop this channel. And then I'm going to turn off channel 2. I'm sorry there's always going to be a little fluff before we get into the study. So if you don't like that, you can just wait for the edited version. It's going to take a day or two. I upload it to BitChute. And then I am going to be having it right here on this page. All those BitChute videos I just showed you have been edited without all this blah, blah, blah before the study. And I can't help it. That's just the way it's going to be because I'm doing live and I'm not doing a polished premiere or perfect video. So it's going to be better for me and what I want, which is engagement. Humboldt County, if you didn't know, I've been streaming for 2 years trying to get us talking. Maybe I can find some constitutionalists come out the woodwork and maybe we can take our city council and our board of supervisor and our sheriff and educate them a little bit on their own duties because they're not doing it right. And the reason they're not doing it right is because they're doing it by and for who's paying them, which is the federal government. And what we're going to be learning about is the limitations of our federal government. This isn't about our rights. We're not going to be going around ripping about our rights. We're going to be ripping about their limitations. That's what we're learning about. You have to make that switch. This is our obligation. This is our responsibility. This is why we're in the position that we're in, because we don't know what we're doing. So these are all the edited versions of the streams. We're on number 5 today. We just started. You could totally get in on this and or just follow along. And this is the link for the website. Did I put this up? Is that what I put again? No, that's for the BitChute. The link for the channel is coming. I'm getting it. I am getting it. I forgot what I had to do, so it just took me a second to realize what I have to do. It's a lot of running around because we just can't have free speech. And so, pardon all of the hoopla and all of the, what's it called, housekeeping stuff. But we all like this platform because it's easy, right? And so I'm trying my best to keep a channel up where you can follow along. And I'm also trying to keep and preserve my biggest channel so that I can keep people engaged. Here we go. Here it is. I don't need to be a mod just to get the link for you for 5. So yeah, I'm going to be on Humboldt Hilltop Workshops. That's the one I'm going to keep it on. Okay. So sorry it took so long, but here it is, and go find it because I'm turning off channel 2. Okay. I hope one of those is blue. Is one of them blue? Because I can't even tell. I think it is. Oh, an error occurred with the Twitch. For some reason. My power went in and out today, just real briefly too, just so you know. Excuse me. There are a couple, technical difficulties that we could be dealing with. I think it keeps the stream spontaneous. Don't we like a little adventure? Channel 2 is going off right now. I love you. Find us on Hilltop Workshops, okay? All right. 12 minutes in. Well, I just have to do these things. I'm sorry to, hopefully not waste your time too much. Just you're getting to know me, okay? Getting to know you. I'll sing to you sometimes. I'll try to make it fun. We're trying to keep it lively here. Trying to keep it exciting. You know what I'm saying? Looking real quick to make sure. It looks like, okay, that was great. I was able to delete that right away with one click. Okay. Really getting into the study now. Willie D. Good to see you, honey. Anybody want to get on and talk about these questions? That's something I'll be getting in the habit of doing, is inviting anybody up right away. This is topic specific. This isn't an open chat without our topic today is questions 5 and 6. Okay. So, but you are certainly welcome to come up and of course, if I've ever personally, said something and offered you to come up and you couldn't come up and this is your only chance, you can come up now. And then we will set a time to deal with something like that later, because I definitely speak a lot of truth bombs. And then, okay, Shasta, I get it. And then I offer the link. And so now is your opportunity if you'd like to come up, and then we can set something up later. But for now, we're going to talk about statistically how the Constitution elevated the United States to the wealthiest nation on earth. And I was going to have a video ready for you, and I'm going to get it real quick. You guys might have seen it. I'll bet a lot of you are familiar with Dr. Jordan Peterson. And he does have a quote, but I was going to try to find the channel as well of him, or the quick stream, or quick, what would you call it, clip. Excuse me, poverty, where he talks about he's got a lot of people. Yeah, right here. This is the clip I want to share. There's a couple clips I want to share with you today, which is why I got off channel 2 as well. But here we go. This is one of the answers to the question, and I'm going to take it from Dr. Jordan Peterson. I'm going to let him answer it. Oh, darn it. Sorry. Oh, wow. You probably don't have sound. You probably don't have sound, do you? See, I sang to you. That's okay. You're welcome. No, that's fine. I just want to welcome anyone to join the discussion, to answer. Nora and Phil, you guys have your kit. I know you're learning along with. If you didn't know, you could get your kit right here. And if you can't get your kit, then just follow along and learn. We're going to make it fun. We're going to make that possible too. You don't have to have the kit to have fun. Okay, let me get back and get my echo turned off, because I'll bet you didn't have no sound. But you didn't have no sound. I'll bet you do. All right, here we go.
So that's the critical issue, right? Even by the metrics of the environmentalists themselves, the policies that we're presently pursuing on the energy front are not only counterproductive environmentally, but they're driving poor people into abject poverty. We're going to see a lot of that in Europe.
I think it depends. So I think if you
this isn't the right one.
The quote environmentalists.
Okay, this is where he talks about what these policies are bringing. What I was looking for is where he talks about capitalism and poverty. Capitalism and poverty. I'm going to define here. This looks like a good one. Let's watch this one. Well, I don't know.
Let me ask you about the famine of the 30s.
Yeah.
Do you think
Ukraine?
In the Ukraine.
Oh yeah. Fun.
Similar, a lot of the things you mentioned in the last few sentences kind of echo to that part of human history.
The Holodomor.
Do you?
No one knows about.
Well, now I've just spent 4 weeks in Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
There's different parts of the world that still, even if they don't know, they know.
Yeah, right.
They feel history runs in the blood.
The Dutch knew, in some sense. They had a famine at the end of World War II, and part of the reason the Dutch farmers are so unbelievably efficient and productive is that the Dutch swore at the end of World War II that was not going to happen again. And then they had to scrape land out of the ocean, because Holland, that's quite a country. It shouldn't even exist. The fact that it's the world's number 2 exporter, you know that it's the world's number 2 exporter of agricultural products, Holland. It's like, I don't think it's as big as Massachusetts. It's this little tiny place. It shouldn't even exist. And they want to put, here's the plan. Let's put 30% of the farmers out of business. Well, the broader ecosystem of agricultural production in Holland is 6% of their GDP. Now, these centralizing politicians think, tell me if I'm stupid about this. Take an industry. You knock it back by fiat by 30%. Now it runs on like a 3% profit margin. Now you're going to kill 30% of it. How are you not going to bring the whole thing down, the whole farming ecosystem down? How are you not going to impoverish the transport systems? How are you not going to demolish the grocery stores? You can't take something like that and pare it back by fiat by 30% and not kill it. I can't see how you can do that. I mean, look what we did with the COVID lockdowns. We broke the supply chains. Have you tried buying something lately? You can't, and aren't the Chinese threatening Taiwan at the moment? What are we going to do without chips? So I don't know what these people are thinking. And then I think, okay, what are they thinking? Well, the Deloitte people are thinking, aren't we smart? And shouldn't we be hired by our corporate employers? It's like, okay, too bad about the poor. What are the environmentalists thinking? We love the planet. It's like, do you? We love the poor. Do you? Okay, let's pit the planet against the poor. Who wins? The planet. Okay, you don't love the poor that much. Do you love the planet? Or do you hate capitalism? Let's pit those two things against each other. Oh, well, it turns out we actually hate capitalism. How can we tell? Because you're willing to break it. And you know what's going to happen? So what's going to happen in Sri Lanka with these 20 million people who now have nothing to eat? Are they going to eat all the animals? Are they going to burn all the firewood? They're stockpiling firewood in Germany. It's like, so is your environmental globalist utopia going to kill the poor and destroy the planet? And that's okay, because we'll wipe out capitalism. It's like, okay.
Yeah, the dragon and the fear of the dragon drives ideologies, some of which can build a better world, some of which can destroy that world.
Okay, so, but he has also made a statement, Dr. Jordan Peterson, about nothing has lifted more people out of abject poverty than capitalism. This probably is it.
There's this sort of Marxist notion that all this inequality is generated as a consequence of capitalism. And that's actually technically false. Because if you look at, there seems to be something like a law of nature that's described by this statistical model called the Pareto distribution. And it basically suggests that in any creative domain, there's going to be a small number of people will do almost all of the output. But it doesn't just apply to human beings. It applies to the heights of trees in the Amazon rainforest. It applies to the size of cities, and it applies to the mass of stars, and it's something like the more you have, the more you get. It's something like, you can imagine how that would work with a star. As it gets bigger and bigger and its gravitational mass increases, it's going to attract more and more matter. And then as a city grows, well, more and more people are excited to move there because of all the opportunities. And so some cities start to grow tremendously and others don't. But this phenomena where a small number of people end up controlling a tremendous proportion of the resource is not only limited to money, and it doesn't only occur in capitalist societies. It occurs everywhere. It's like a natural law. So you see the same thing with number of points scored by a spectacular sports figure. There's always a tiny proportion of people who are way ahead on the curve, or people who make records, or people who sell paintings, or people who compose music, or people who sell music online. It's all the same. It's the 1% gets 80%. And so, well, first, we can't blame that on capitalism. And second, we should note that it actually does constitute a problem, which is what the left-wingers are always jumping up and down about, right? Like, too much inequality starts to destabilize your society. And it isn't obvious how to shovel money from the top end, maybe the 1/10 of 1% who have almost all the money, down to the people who have almost nothing in a way that's effective, so that they don't get thrown out of the game completely and so that the whole society doesn't destabilize. We don't exactly know how to do that. It is a problem because inequality does exist and it does tend to magnify across time. And then there's another problem too, which we haven't figured out, is imagine that in order to make everyone rich, you have to tolerate a certain amount of inequality. It seems obvious. We don't know how many units of inequality you need to tolerate per unit of wealth generated. But the answer is definitely not zero. It's definitely not zero.
Yeah, so anyway, I just think it's always good to get a couple more opinions before I'm going to go throwing mine around. I'm a capitalist, and the answer to this question is actually supportive of my views as a capitalist, looking at history, looking at facts, looking at why was there a book about the 5,000-year leap? I mean, let's look at these pages here. It's almost, worth an entire reread, but we have answers. So let's see. I always go back to this one part here. This is the thing here. This is the answer. A little before it, but the most striking thing about the settlers of Jamestown, 44 people, that made it, was their startling similarity to the ancient pioneers who built settlements in other parts of the world 5,000 years earlier. The whole panorama of Jamestown demonstrated how shockingly little progress had been made by man during all of those 50 centuries. The settlers of Jamestown had come in a boat no larger and no more commodious than those of the ancient sea kings. Their tools still consisted of shovel, axe, hoe, and we got the wrong page. Stick plow, which were only slightly improved over those of China, Egypt, Persia, and Greece. They harvested their grain and hay grass with the same primitive scythes. And then, but what we're going to get into the heart of, it talks about the food and how, out of 9,000 of them, 1,000 of them lived. Okay, but we're going to get into the meat of what made this different. What made it different? What made it different is they produced many of the foremost intellects who structured the framework for the new civilization which became known as the United States of America. From among them came Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, George Washington. We read about all these cats, right? We read about these men. Virginia furnished 4 of the 5 first presidents. Now, this is the point here. Within 200 years of this incredible settlement of 44 people, you had a 5,000-year leap. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Do you understand? This is reality. Poo-poo founding fathers and colonialism all you want, but don't deny the history here. Poo-poo every dirty deed. We're going to go look at James Barton and Pocahontas being baptized in the state capitol building. It wasn't all bad. You need to look at history here. This is what we're talking. This is it. It's the spirit of freedom which moved out across the world. But let me go before that. Soon 2 whole centuries had passed into history. By 1976, the noble experiment of American independence and free enterprise economics had produced some phenomenal results. One need not be an American citizen to feel the sense of genuine pride in the fantastic list of achievements which bubbled up from the massive melting pot of humanity. Right there, bingo, ding, 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 there's your answer. Massive melting pot of humanity that swarmed to the shores of this new land and contributed to its mighty leap in technical, political, and economic achievement. The spirit of freedom which moved out across the world in the 1800s was primarily inspired by the fruits of freedom in the United States. The climate of free market economics allowed science, real science, to thrive in an explosion of inventions and technical discoveries which in merely 200 years gave the world the gigantic new power resources of harnessed electricity, the internal combustion engine, jet propulsion, space vehicles, and the wonders of nuclear energy. Now we're going to get into question number 6 with this reading on. Name the 7 revolutions that occurred in human history and tell which one was the key to the others, okay? So, we'll go back to our reading down here. Please read this. This is 6 pages, okay? This is nothing. This is an easy read. Communications were revolutionized. First by the telegraph, then the telephone, followed by radio and television. That statement is self-explanatory, how one thing leads to another, right? We don't have to go back over that. We're answering the questions by just reading this. Communications were revolutionized, blah, blah. The whole earth was explored from pole to pole, even the depths of the sea. The men left the earth in rocket ships. But did they, though? And actually walked the moon. They sent up a space plane that could be maneuvered and landed back on Earth. The average length of life was doubled. The quality of life was tremendously enhanced. Homes, food, textiles, communications, transportation, central heating, central cooling, world travel, millions of books, high literacy rate, schools for everybody, surgical miracles, medical cures for age-old diseases, entertainment at the touch of a switch, and instant news 24 hours a day. That was the story. Of course, that didn't all just happen in America, but it did flow out primarily from the swift current of freedom and prosperity which the American founders turned loose into the spillways of human progress all over the world. In 200 years, the human race had made a 5,000-year leap. That's a mic drop moment. That's not my mic drop moment. That's the founding fathers. That's the government system that they put into place with these 28 principles of liberty. They created the Constitution with these principles. The only reliable basis for sound government and just human relations is natural law. A free people cannot survive under a Republican Constitution unless they remain virtuous and morally strong. The most promising method of securing a virtuous and morally stable people is to elect virtuous leaders. Without religion, the government of a free people cannot be maintained. All things were created by God, therefore upon him all mankind are equally dependent, and to him they are equally responsible. Not to man. Man didn't give us our rights. God did. All men are created equal, and women too. The proper role of government is to protect equal rights and not provide equal things. Men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. To protect man's rights, God has revealed certain principles of divine law. The God-given right to govern is vested in the sovereign authority of the whole people. The majority of the people may alter or abolish a government which has become tyrannical. New Hampshire, Article 3, Section 17. And did you know that all constitutions are states' constitutions work for others? Article 3, Section 19, or what is it before? The Bill of Rights. They have the easiest constitution to read. I like reading their constitution. Article 3. No, I'm in the Bill of Rights. Okay. I was trying to find the redress of grievances. It's not under this one. State Constitution. Okay. It's Article, it's 3. Part 2? Maybe it's Part 2. It's a redress of grievances. And we need, they need that in Arcata. They're sick of this government. These pushing their... Oh, I forgot where it was. Dang it. Oh, used to know it. I thought it was Section 3. Was D-Dog here? He knows. You didn't do it? What's up? Good to see you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. Darn it. It's Article 3. When? Oh, this is it. Here we go. No. I know I got it written down somewhere. I don't remember where it is, but they have an easy constitution to follow. It should be in here. When to meet and dissolve. No, it's not that. It's like 17 or 19. Worth finding, that's for sure. I will put in, let's see, New Hampshire State Constitution. I want to find it now, dang it. I'm not going to leave State Constitution. It's actually called Right to Revolution. You say you want a revolution. Well, you know. Article 10, you guys. So I was close. Government being instituted for the common benefit, protection, and security of the whole community, and not for the private interest or emolument of any one man, family, or class of men. Therefore, whenever the ends of government are perverted and public liberty manifestly endangered, and all other means of redress are ineffectual, the people may, and of right, ought to reform the old or establish a new government. The doctrine of non-resistance against arbitrary power and oppression is absurd, slavish, and destruction of the good and happiness of mankind. Oh yeah, very worth finding, don't you think? Know their limitations. This is not about our rights. It's about their damn limits. We are not their slaves. We are not their subjects. Guess what? They're ours. They're ours. They answer to us. If we're not there to tell them what's up, well, then whose fault is that? Is it their fault that they're just doing what they're being paid to do? They know more about how everything operates than I do. See the problem? I see the problem. And the problem is me. So I'm doing something about the problem. I am equipping myself. So I'm not going to be ignorant when I go to a meeting and I've got a hurl of affidavits for mandated reporter, for maladministration, for malfeasance, for being crook and criminal liar thieves, crisis actors with no oath and no bond. Don't tell me the sheriff is a good guy. I'm sick of hearing that. The bar's higher. The bar is higher. The bar is higher. It's lawful. It's protect the people. Our sheriff did not protect the people. Our children were muzzled. People died. People died. Don't tell me he's constitutional. He has blood on his hands and he knows it. Nobody else does, though, because he's the coroner, too. Joke's on you. Joke's on you, Humboldt County. He's the coroner, and he also gets to do all the paperwork, too. He's in charge of administrative records. This is a problem, California. 41 of your 55 sheriffs who are unlawful. Don't believe me? Let me show you. This is not lawful. You are not supposed to be a sheriff and a coroner and in charge of records. What do you think that means? When people are dying and their estate there's nobody else and then the county gets that property? Can you not see what is going on here? Divisions. Yeah, let's see. Administrative services. Coroner. Public administrator. Major crimes division. Unsolved cases. I mean, look. There's some good things. This is the problem. You got people that do just enough good things. You know what we call those people? We have an acronym for those people. People that will do just enough are called JEPs. They're just enough people. They're JEPs. I know. I've employed people for 27 years in 3 counties, and I've had people as tenants for 17 years. I know people pretty good. People think I'm pretty stupid because I still want to love them, and I still want to believe them, and I still want to help them, and I'm never going to change. I'm still going to I'm not going to let other people's sour character change who I want to be. Ever. It's like I don't know. I might get burned. Like I don't know. Someone's using me. They get away with it, and it is hideous, and it's our fault because the problem is, first off, we don't even know what the problem is. That's part of the problem, isn't it? For me, it is. I mean, I've gone to the meetings super cocky. I've gone in I'm not getting on their level. It's just the chasm is too great. The divide is too big. It's hard to, I want to have a relationship with these people. But, you know, Miles Slattery, we don't have a position for a city manager on our charter, Eureka. He's a fraud, Eureka. You didn't know that? Sophia Perez is a fraud too. You know how many frauds you got walking around in Humboldt? No, you don't know, but you should know, because I've got it right here for you with an affidavit that I autographed, and so did Linda, and it was served on them 2 years ago for fraud. They are frauds. This is the original charter for the city of Eureka. The assessor, treasurer, tax collector, city attorney, city clerk, city engineer, mayor, and city council. I don't see no city manager on there. Weird, Miles, how your position isn't here. So weird, isn't it? This was a letter that Linda sent to the Pamela Powell. And and here's the fraud letter. Okay, maybe you're new. Maybe you haven't watched me. Let me share something with you, okay? So this is what it says. We the people, let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. When you know the bar, then you know how far away from it they are. If you don't know, then it's really easy just to say, oh yeah, he's a good guy. He's done some good things. That's great. That's great. But when I couldn't get my groceries, I knew I would never, ever let this go. And nobody should. No woman, man, child should have gone through what we went through in our county. And how dare you say to me, this sheriff is a good guy, when you don't even know what his job is. His job is to protect me. We the people never delegated authority to express our power in regards to health, education, energy, weather manipulation, religion, or investing in the people's public treasury. The court made it clear that since a corporation could not practice law directly, it could not do so indirectly by hiring competent lawyers to practice for it, since that would be an evasion which the law would not tolerate, saying a corporation can neither practice law nor hire lawyers to entry on the business of practicing law for it more than it can practice medicine or dentistry by hiring doctors or dentists to act for it. All these people are frauds, Humboldt County. You don't believe me? You don't know. Go check their bond. Go check their oath. And then get back to me, okay? And then get back to me. For years, we've been subjected to criminal and fraudulent behavior by the state of California Incorporated and the county of Humboldt Incorporated. Actions which have been imposed upon us against our will by both criminal coercion and legal deception. False evidence appearing real. Kirsten, you posted that today. And fiction have thus combined to bind us into slavery. This is serious. I have a right to be upset. I have a right to call these people out. They put us through hell, and I won't let them forget it. And I won't let anyone who's paying attention to me forget it either. I mean, I've got my place. I'm not talking about this stuff all day long. I'm enjoying life. Okay, I am. But this is serious. These people are all up in here creating a communist China place. It was like we were in a communist country. I couldn't get my groceries. Don't you think that's serious? I think it's pretty freaking serious. And when you find out these people don't even have real oaths and a proper bond, they are crisis actors, everybody. Hey, Humboldt County, they shouldn't be able to walk down the street. Linda's done her work. She's had 6 judges removed. She has been on this county's butt for a long, long time. The Board of Supervisors are getting sued by the Institute for Justice and Thomas Etherington. Thomas Etherington's done all the data, you guys. He does the data mining, not mining, what's it called? I forget. Data drops. Raw data dumps. Okay, from all these, he's got everything for these county people's officials. Every one of them's, hey Alexa, hey Siri, every phone call, every email, everything is here. They are walking convicted criminals. They will be convicted criminals. They're done. And they sit up and get up on their little councils with their smug faces. I guess you're not seeing that people are being arrested here and there. Isn't it rich? Send in the clowns. I mean, it's just getting better and better every day that goes by. 3 years behind us, whew, now we're coming out. Oh, right on. People are getting arrested. People are going to prison. People are resigning. People are dying. That's the part I don't like. That's why I stream. Donna Wright, say her name. The Eureka Chamber of Commerce, head of it for 5 years. You guys know. I've shared it with you before. I've shared her picture with you before. I don't know that anyone's here from Humboldt County. If they are, they're not gonna say hi, I guess. They just like to lurk, you know. So that's okay. The reason why I stream is because I knew this woman. Donna Wright was from Australia, and I talked to her a couple times. She's so beautiful. Look at her. I've cried over her a couple times. Okay, can't cry today. Can't cry today. They're in shock. They're in shock that she just died in her peacefully sleep. You know, nothing was said about her death. They haven't said her name one time. Nobody has said her name. I think of her being from Australia. Think of what she said here. She got vaccinated because she was excited to be vaccinated to help with the solution, to keep businesses open and save lives. Her husband and her also have had the hope that they'll be able to travel and visit their family in Australia and Canada sooner. We miss them terribly. Shame on you, Humboldt County. I stream for Donna. What are you doing? Still promoting these lies? Keep doing it. Keep doing it. So we can round up every single one of you. It's just pitiful. But I won't let him forget her. I'll never let him forget her. They know who she is. They know who she was. I loved this lady. I took the time to call her and talk to her and tell her that this stuff wasn't lawful. She was smashing, man. I got to party with her a few times at Chamber of Commerce meetings. I haven't heard anybody say nothing about her. I'll never let him forget her. I will never let you forget her. She was so fun. I loved her accent. I loved her. It was one of the things that made her great at her job. She did a great job. They got a new lady. I've seen her. I mean, they just don't say anything about her. It just makes me so mad. It's just like, wow, you guys really don't care. But you know what? The reason I called her is because I did know the law, and I did know that businesses didn't have a right to be telling people to wear a mask. And I called her a couple times because I was commenting on their chamber posts on Facebook a lot. She called me the first time. She's like, hey, what is your problem? I didn't know they had a celebration of life for her. But, a lot of people stream for a lot of different reasons. I started to stream because before Donna, there was some other things going on too. But I kept streaming for Donna at times when I wanted to give up. Put it that way. And I just, there's people that are still being coerced every day to take an experimental injection that they're still getting the sickness from. And it's maddening to me. It's insanity to those of us in the know that we know that you don't need this to stay healthy. We remember smallpox and the natives. We know the government is not here to help us. Humboldt County, it's just really sad because when I moved here in the 90s, the whole attitude was U.S. government out of Humboldt County. We had a guy that was minting coin in Petrolia, this was a special place. And now it's like you got all these little communist cronies like David Cobb. And he was on an interview this week. You can find out all about him. His aim is to dismantle capitalism. And the Board of Supervisors of Humboldt County has given Cooperation Humboldt $5 million. They're in a partnership with an organization here whose aim is to dismantle capitalism. I have a BF problem with that, okay? That's a BFD. That's the BFD and the Lanternman Act, which takes over the health care of people that don't have anybody. And then you've got the sheriff who's the coroner and in charge of records. Oh, you got some big problems here, Humboldt County. You got some big problems here. Big. They're bigly. They're too bigly for me to handle by myself. But guess what? My God is bigger than the boogeyman. I'm going to start busting out in VeggieTale songs. Oh, I gotta just say a prayer for y'all. Thank you, Lord, for these people here in this chat and for giving me the ability to read and learn and just do it openly and not be embarrassed or afraid or worried about what people think of me. Because, God, I only care about what you think of me, my family, and my peers. And a lot of them are here with me right now, and I thank you for them. I thank you for these supportive people that come here to drop links and to just show their support in that way. They're precious, God. I pray for their families. I pray that they're able to take this information and just to absorb it and just to learn and be okay with where we're all at right now. We're just got a lot to learn. And the more we learn, the better equipped we'll be to handle our government officials. God, I pray you give us a righteous sheriff. I pray for Sheriff Hansel, Lord. I pray for all these people in this town and in every town that they would do the right things, Lord, that they would repent from being dishonest, that they would know their jobs, their oath, their responsibility. God, help us be your hands and feet. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, well, that's it. 53 minutes. I don't know how much I'm cutting out of the beginning of this, but again, the full streams are on Rumble. In case you didn't know, the full streams are on Rumble. If you like the fluff, this is my Rumble channel, so they're not edited here. I'm gonna get this all written out. They're not edited on Rumble because when I go live, it's with me right away from the beginning. But then afterwards, I go into StreamYard and I edit it, and then I put it on BitChute for you guys. And excuse me, I am gonna get this BitChute. All these videos will be on the website for you, so everything will be there. And thank you guys for following along. You can see that that's gonna be easy to do. Excuse me, right? It's gonna be way easy to do because I'm happy to do the work for you all to follow along so that I can have you with me. It's definitely more fun. I have talked into a camera where nobody was at for a while, and I was equipped to do it again because I thought, man, I'm going to become the least popular girl on YouTube. But you know what? It's actually not that unpopular. People are very curious about this, and I'm so thankful. So yeah, get on board with it and learn it on your own. If you don't like me and you can't stand my voice or whatever, I get it, but do take the time to learn this anyways. You know, there's people there's some people I will listen to a little bit and I'm just like, oh, can't stand their voice. They grating on me, you know. I probably have that effect on people. I am not unaware of how we are so judgy lately, you know. All of us, every one of us, we're programmed to be that way. So I fight it. I want to look at people the way God looks at people, don't you? Let's look at, you know how I look at people sometimes? We're all little children in big grown-up bodies, but we're still like little kids, and we're all really afraid right now at times, right? But remember your childlike faith and how we know God's got us, right? So love your people. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys Monday. Thank you for your prayers and for being interested in the Constitution. That's fantastic, you guys. Love ya. See you later. Peace out, humble and beyond.